Hi People is proud to present the 40 Days 40 Fintechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, which is leading the way in advocating for technology that promotes financial inclusivity. Since 2020, we've profiled over 100 fintechs, and our latest season is shining a spotlight on those breaking down digital barriers and transforming lives for the better. Join us in this financial inclusivity revolution, presented with generous support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Follow hashtag 40 Days 40 Fintechs, hashtag Level 1 Project to learn more and get involved in creating a brighter financial future for all.
The 4 Days for Fintechs initiative continues to shine a spotlight on innovators that are using financial technology to serve the unserved and underserved people in Uganda and across Africa. On day 40 of the annual Hi People 4 Days for Fintechs initiative, season 5, we are glad to have a representative from Kawu. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kakoza Steven. I am a software engineer at Kawu. I build awesome stuff at Kawu.
Thank you so much. For those watching you for the very first time, what is Kawu? What do you do? And why the name Kawu?
Kawu, in the easiest way I can explain it, is a product that enables you as a parent, guardian, friend or family to send money to your friend, daughter, son in school. We basically issue out credit and debit cards to students in African schools.
All right. How does that work?
So essentially, the same way you have mobile money, that's like the whole process flow. Now, the difference is when you are in school, like most African schools, they don't allow you to have mobile phones. So this means that the only way you can access money is by cash. So what we do is we take away all that process of, going through a teacher to send your children money and make it direct. So you as the parent, you directly send money to your son, your daughter in school, and they receive it on the card. And so using that card, they make payments at the canteen. Using that card, they can save. Using that card, they can withdraw cash.
All right. Someone may want to understand, what market problem do you address? Why did you decide to come up with this platform?
So when you look at the ecosystem, the education ecosystem in Africa, you find that youth spend on average 9 months every year in school. And an average person spends at least 15 years in school. So you can do the maths and see that there is a long period that, youth spend without accessing digital financial services. So we looked at this problem. We faced it firsthand when we were in school, and we thought maybe something needed to be, changed. And so what we do is we look at people that really need to access these services and cannot access it because of several barriers. Most people here don't have bank accounts. Schools don't allow mobile phones. And so it sort of creates that barrier. So when you look at the statistics, 4 out of 5 youths leave school with zero savings, like zero financial history, and they don't have any financial literacy. So this is what we are trying to solve here. We are saying, okay, look, if we can give this person a way to access money digitally, this means that they will safely keep their money. This means that they will now have financial history, and we have also created a channel for them to save money. So we are sort of trying to be their first digital account. Yeah.
All right. Now that you have broken it down on why you did it, how you do it, take us through step by step. How do you onboard students? How do you onboard parents? And how do you onboard schools?
The onboarding process is quite, dynamic. We've tried to make the product as easy as possible for somebody to self-onboard. But the way we do it right now, you see, very many people are talking about innovation, change, But if you go on the ground, it's actually pretty hard to convince somebody to use something new. Like, it's very, very hard to change somebody's behavior. And that's like the space we're in right now. So what we do is we visit schools, we speak to administrators, we tell them about the product, about the problems they have. We're just reminding them this. And so most of them are like, okay, how do we try it? How do we get our hands on? And so we visit the school again, we speak to the students, we speak to the parents, and then after that, we onboard the school. So essentially we get the entire school on board. So that means that every student will now get a card. And then after registration is done, we now speak to parents about the importance of this. Like it's it's unfortunate, like some parents don't understand the importance of, having financial literacy in your child. Like I think I grew up from a middle income family whereby, my mom used to have monies all around the house. So he had a 500 coin here, a 200 coin here. It's like she had a GPS for all these monies. And she could send you to go somewhere and pick some money, and she knows exactly how much money was there. So this grew in us, that sort of responsibility not to take money that was not yours. She could in a way send you to a shop to say buy sugar, and let's say a kilogram is at 2,800. You find that prices have reduced and they give you at 2,700 or 600. So be like, mommy doesn't know this, let me keep the change. 2-3 days later she finds out, and then she sends you to get tomatoes. She's like, hey, you can get for me some tomatoes. You'll be like, okay, where's the money? And she's like, use the other balance you kept from getting sugar. And you're like, geez. So if you look at those kind of things, that's like sort of things we're trying to create right now. We're trying to show the parent that, look, this is how your student or your child is using the money. Is it good for you? Do you think it's good? If you feel it's good, you can leave them to go that way. If you can adjust it, then you speak to them and help them improve. So yeah, that's essentially what you're doing right now.
Okay, so you have gone to school X and you have onboarded the school. How then do the parents get on board and start sending money? And then how do the students start spending that money?
For the bit of the parent, the moment your child's card is activated, you receive a message that directs you on how you can send money. Right now, we have 2 avenues that you can use to send money to your child. We have USSD at is *284 *28#, and then we also have a mobile application for those that have smartphones. So it's that message has all the information you need to get started. And then for the students, when they get their cards, we do what we call orientation. That is taking through the students on how to use the card, safety measures, the benefits, how to save. And also we have what we call the self-service point. It is sort of, easier way of, building an ATM machine that students can use to interact with this service. So this means that, unlike other avenues, a student can know how much money is on their card by visiting these self-service points. It means that a student can set their saving goals still from these points. It means that, a student can know how they are spending their money. So all this is installed in the school, and then the school can, get started with digitizing there.
All right. Yeah, that is the theory part of it. Let us try to be a little more practical. For how long have you done this? How many schools have you onboarded? How many parents are sending money on the Kawu smart cards? And how many students are using the smart cards?
We've been operational for 3 years.
That's short.
And we're now serving over 62,000 users. We have 67 schools. And I could mention names, but there are very many. I will forget some. So we are doing pretty well. So we have seen like a lot of traction in like those schools that are using the service. We have like 98% people who use it come back again and again, and they are helping us, recommend us to other schools. They be like, I have a child here, please onboard the school. I want my kid to have that. So yeah, I think in numbers, that's where we are.
The 62,000, are they the students or the parents?
62 is the total. We have about 35,000 parents. Parents are sort of more than students, and we have about 30,000 students.
Active students.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes, for the time you have been doing this, one might want to ask, you are dealing with money and people's money. Where do you get the mandate to manage people's money?
Right now, what we are doing is we are having partners that are licensed by the Central Bank of Uganda. Currently, our card is issued by InterSwitch. So InterSwitch has the regulation, overseeing by the Bank of Uganda. And so we work with those. We are also working with, some banks to bank us. And also we are regulated by NITA, as money intermediaries. So yeah, I think we are pretty well. That's it.
Yes. Now that you have answered the legitimacy question, because many people would ask, they are dealing with money, what if they disappear with it? But now that we are comfortable that you are regulated by organizations that have licenses to do what you are doing, make us understand what challenges have you so far faced in this that you are doing?
The biggest challenge that I've seen so far is some people think that financial product don't have to be awesome. Like they think financial product have to be very ugly or just minimum viable. They just have to work. And I've been having like this conversation and arguments all the time with some of my partners. I tell them, man, we have to make this thing very beautiful. It doesn't just have to work. It has to inspire these guys. Like when a student gets this card, they have to feel inspired, elevated. They have to feel good about it. And so that is something we are trying to, sort of change and tell them, no, it just doesn't have to work. It has to be awesome. It has to be good. And then the other thing is what I hinted on earlier. Like very many people talk about change. Very many people talk about innovations. But when you go on the ground, it's actually hard to get somebody to change their behaviors. Like when you look at the process flow of making payments in school, it's like very, very different. So you have to approach it like differently. You have to take them slow. The canteen attendants are not very tech savvy. Things have to be very simple, very basic. So that's where we've been, trying to spend a lot of our energies to see that, we fix it. Then another thing I found out is like some of the teachers who teach students don't actually believe in the things that their students build. Like you find that, this is a teacher who taught somebody, but when they say this is something that I built, they'll be like, does it work? So, I'm always thinking, like, I always discuss with my team and be like, okay, if these guys don't support the companies that we are building, where are the kids that they are teaching going to be employed at?
And actually, I wanted to ask you, now that you have prompted it, in the secondary school you went to, do they use the Kawu smart cards?
I went to Seat of Wisdom. It is in Kawu. It's a Christian school. And it was my second school to onboard to Kawu. Shout out to Reverend Father John Leonard Senkoto, is the director there. So they are completely using the service. Like I would fight tooth and nail to see that my school takes this thing up because I was there. And so I know exactly that they need it.
Yes. Thank you, Stephen. Make me understand. You have been participating in the 4 Days for Fintechs initiative. I think this is the third time. How has this initiative helped you spread the good news around Kawu, but even in a better way? How has this initiative improved the fintech ecosystem, most of for startups like yours?
I have a very long answer for that, but let me try to summarize it.
Concise and precise.
So when we started, I think we were known to like 4 or 5 people. And then we reached out to the CEO of our people, and then he's like, oh, you guys come. This is something we need to, grow. And since then, like we've never gone back. It's been always, pushing us. There's a lot happening behind the cameras that people don't see, late hours, hard work, him calling you in the night and telling you, man, I need you to do this. I need this to be done. And I think everybody needs somebody to, be on their back, especially founders. Like you find that personally, I've never been employed in any like corporate world, so I don't know how some of these things work, and you have to navigate a lot of dynamics. And so that's one thing that they have really helped us with. And then another thing is like publicity. You find that you need to know so many people to get in some rooms, but if some people know you already, it's much easier to get to those rooms. But also, I think aside from Kawu as a company, they have really tried to push the entire ecosystem. For example, this is my credit card. It's what I use. It's from Brex. It's a US company. I ordered this card. I don't know anybody in that bank, and it took 2 days to deliver that card from US to Uganda. Guess how much I paid for shipping?
Let me know.
0.
Why?
I don't know, man. because they value their customers, I guess. And here you are in a country where you have a bank account, and then it takes you 2 weeks to get a bank card. Like, that's what for the fintech has tried to, set like its champions. It shows these guys that, some of these things can be done better, and they need to be done better. So that's a win-win for the entire ecosystem and everybody at large. So I think it's really, really good working with you guys.
All right. It has been a pleasure having you, Kakoza. Within 2 minutes, please hold your card and look in your camera and build a case as to why all students should use Kawu for their pocket money and all parents should use the Kawu platform for sending pocket money to their students.
Disclaimer, I don't think all students should use this thing. We are building this card strictly for ambitious students. So if you're ambitious and you want to do more with your money, just beyond pocket money, this is the thing to go to. You can save, you can make payments, you can withdraw money from any industry-enabled ATM around the country, you can send money to friends, you can receive money from everybody in the country, and you don't need a bank account or a mobile phone. So what we are doing is we are trying to be your first bank account in life, and probably be the last, because we are trying as much as we can to make this awesome for you. So if you're ambitious, go get yourself one.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for coming through. Like you have heard from him, Kawu is a platform that is transforming lives of young people, mainly students, through offering them a platform that enables them receive pocket money, save, and invest. This has been day 40 of the annual 4 Days for Fintechs initiative, season 5. Thank you so much for following.